NATO's support for Ukraine's security sector reform. NATO's commitment to supporting Ukraine's security sector reform has been at the forefront of the alliance's efforts to help the country combat Russian aggression. Ukraine's security sector reform aims to improve the efficiency, effectiveness, and accountability of its security forces. NATO has been working with Ukraine since 2014 to support this goal. One of the most significant forms of NATO support for Ukraine's security sector reform is through the Trust Fund for Ukraine. This fund was established in June 2014 to provide financial support for Ukraine's efforts to overhaul its outdated security institutions. The fund has financed projects that range from the implementation of new communication systems for Ukraine's military to the development of a comprehensive legal framework for the country's security policies. Since the Russian annexation of Crimea in 2014, NATO has increased its support for security sector reform in Ukraine. This support has helped Ukraine to develop a more capable and professional security force. It has also helped to deter Russian aggression in the region by demonstrating NATO's commitment to the security of its allies and partners. Russia's reaction. Russia has strongly opposed NATO's support for Ukraine's security sector reform. Moscow sees Ukraine as within its sphere of influence and regards NATO's engagement with the country as a threat to its security interests. Russia has repeatedly criticized NATO's involvement in Ukraine and has accused the alliance of supporting radical elements within the country. One of Russia's most significant responses to NATO's support for Ukraine's security sector reform has been its military intervention in eastern Ukraine. Since 2014, Russian-backed separatists have been fighting against Ukrainian government forces in the region. The conflict has claimed over 13,000 lives and has caused a humanitarian crisis in the area. Russia's intervention in Ukraine has also led to tensions between the West and Moscow. The conflict has been a major factor in the deterioration of relations between Russia and NATO. Tensions have been further strained by Russia's annexation of Crimea and its involvement in the Syrian conflict. Despite Russia's objections, NATO continues to support Ukraine's security sector reform. The alliance sees the reform process as key to building a strong, stable, and democratic Ukraine. NATO's support for the country is also of strategic importance to the alliance, given Ukraine's location between Russia and NATO's eastern borders. In conclusion, NATO's support for Ukraine's security sector reform is an essential part of the alliance's efforts to counter Russian aggression in the region. The reform process has provided Ukraine with the support it needs to develop a professional and capable security force. However, Russia's opposition to NATO's engagement with Ukraine has led to tensions between the West and Moscow. The resolution of the conflict in eastern Ukraine remains a significant challenge for both Ukraine and the international community.